Today we're going to take a look at Aberdaron. It's at the far end of the Llyn Peninsula. It's a small fishing village, really more of a tourist place now. It's absolutely fantastic as a sea fishing spot. As you can see there, that's the centre of Aberdaron here, and most of the fishing marks that I'll be talking about today are going to be over on the western side on this headland called Uchymynedd. As you can see there from the overview, there are lots of rocky outcrops. You fish into really deep water, and the target species here can be quite fantastic really. Huge congers, massive pollock, bull huss and even taupe, all within easy casting distance. Is a very rocky, kelp-ridden mark with a few patches of sand and shingle, but really you're talking about a pretty heavy rock fishing mark here. Also good for the lures as well. In a previous sea fishing marks episode, we've covered some of the marks to the east, and as I scroll around to the east, you can see here some of the marks. They're in the first YouTube video on the Llyn Peninsula. So as I say, we'd start here on the beach. You can probably tell as you look at this map now. I'm just going to zoom in a small amount. I realise it's quite annoying if I keep flicking around on this map. So you can see there at the top of the screen there is a small river, the Aberdaron. Once again, I apologise to the proper Welsh speakers if language isn't up to scratch there. But there's the Aberdaron. Runs into the sea, and you'll see sort of mullet. I've even seen sea trout here as well, mulling around at the entrance to the river. This is about, the tide here is about 3/4 of the way down, I suppose, on Google Maps. Now, you'll catch bass all along this beach. There's bigger boulders, there's rocks, there's gullies. And when you've got a surf running, and a lot of the time when you don't, you'll still catch bass here on these smaller reefs on fly fishing gear, ledgered baits, and all your lures, sand eel lures, things like that. Will pick up bass and pollock. And the tide will actually come right up to these rocks here. Got to be careful you don't get cut off by the tide. You can park in Aberdaron there. If you're looking for somewhere to park, there is an official car parking spot under the hand here, or this goes up the hill a bit. You might be able to find free parking up the top as well. Now I'm going to zoom back out again. It is a good beach to fish, can be quite touristy in summer, but for a little bit more excitement and to find your own special spot, best advice is to get off the beaten track. Follow one of these footpaths here. You can see they follow the line of Uchymynedd coastline. I'd never advise anyone to try and climb down some of these marks. It's not for the faint-hearted, it's not for the inexperienced. But there is a track here, and you can find little sheep tracks down. Some of these tracks, however, will lead to sheer cliff edges, which can be, fatal, obviously. But you will find, particularly as you get further round to Porthmedew, again, sorry about the pronunciation, you'll find some of the marks to this side here when you go further southwest down this way, a lot easier to get to. It can fish right the way from low tide up. A lot of the pollock fishing tends to be better fishing about an hour after low tide, whereas some of the bigger species, huss and conger, you might pick up on slack low tide. And a lot of that, I think, is to do with the tidal currents when you come around this far to the other side of the little port here. That's where the boats go out for potting, and also to go across to Entley or Bardsey. So the tidal current here is unbelievable at times, and you won't even hold... when the tide's running around this headland here, you won't even hold bottom with 12 ounces of lead. So the best advice, get off the beaten track. I know a lot of people have got their secret marks here. They've worked very hard for them, so I'm not going to give away any specific venues. but you will certainly benefit from travelling light, maybe with a few lures, and suss out some of the spots all the way around here. Now, that's if you're walking from Aberdaron or Porthmedrall, but you can go up onto the Uchymynedd headland, head right the way up to the top, to the lookout, which is up here. Sorry about the flicking around. I still get confused and I fish here all the time. If you get right up to the lookout, which is up here, you'll pass a campsite on the way, and the road bends round past the campsite and does a tight right. It's about this spot here. Now, you can follow any of these tracks down, and you will find deeper rock marks to fish. There's two little bays here. You've got sandy bays and rocky ledges, but there will be some more specific information on this headland as to the particular marks and how to get down there. I'll put some photos up and videos of how to get down these little tracks. But as I say, the best place to start, I would suggest, is either walk from Aberdaron along the headlands here. You're talking about a good sort of 3 or 4 mile walk, or alternatively you can park at the top, park by the campsite here, and walk down right to the edge here. It's really heavy rock fishing. You'll need 5-ounce grip leads. There is more sand here, and there are more sort of rocky, kelpy areas to this side here. In terms of wildlife and fishing, though, it's unbelievable. I mean, there's dolphins. They've even had leatherback turtles seen here. Basking sharks have passed by. If into bird watching as well, some amazing sightings have been seen on this headland. So I just wanted to give a taster really of the Uchymynedd and Aberdaron coastline, and if this is something you're interested in, or you've got comments, you've fished here regularly, then by all means please pop something in the comments column underneath, and we'll go from there. I might talk a bit about some of the specific marks here. For example, I've seen a 20-pound taupe landed from here. I've had a 9-pound pollock on mackerel feathers just off one of this Inispiod here. I've seen a double-figure bullhuss over this section here, and I have seen conger in there, large conger, 20-pound plus conger eels, and that was I think it was in September on a moonlit night. No tide at all, right on low tide. So it can be an amazing mark. That's your overview. If you enjoyed this, I'll do some more. Please leave some comments. Thanks for watching.